Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we're here with Robin Shimizu and friends. Hey, Robin's in the house. Robin's got a fabulous guest for you. And we want you to sit back, get your pencils and pens ready because she's getting ready to drop some wonderful nuggets on you. Hey, friend, do you want to tell us who's coming on today?
Today, today we have Linus Woods Mullins. She's a certified holistic living and wellness expert for women over the age of 40, and she always brings us so much knowledge and wisdom. She's so accomplished. Let me just read a little bit from her bio. She's the founder of PraiseWorks Health and Wellness, a mind, body, spirit wellness company that specializes in educating women 40 and over on wellness. For over 13 years, Linus has educated women over 40 about mind, body, spirit wellness through coaching programs, ebooks, webinars, special online events, a digital magazine, and podcast programs, webcast series, and wellness retreats. That's a mouthful. The focus topics educate women about mind, body, and spirit wellness using holistic practices, fitness, nutrition, and spiritual renewal. She has so many things going. She's has over 50-year background in dance and is certified in nutrition, life coaching, yoga, and Pilates. And over the years, Linus has been recognized internationally and nationally for her contribution to wellness industry for women over 40 and has been on TV programs, countless radio shows, and podcasts. Linus currently serves on several boards regionally and nationally. She lives here in California with her hubby and 4 grown daughters. And she doesn't live with her daughters. She has 4 grown daughters and 4 grandchildren. So busy woman. So with that, let's bring Linus on. She has to leave us at 8:20. So I have to, yeah. So let's bring her on. And there she is. Hey, Linus.
It is so good to have you in.
Hi, everybody. Great to see you. Thank
Good
you.
morning.
Good to see you as
What do you
well.
have for us today, Linus?
Today, I thought I would talk about getting motivated to enter into self-care, or what I'd rather call self-awareness. I think that self-care sometimes gets to be an overused word, but the reality is that in order to really take better care of ourselves, we have to just be aware of what's going on with our bodies and checking in with ourselves and just seeing how we feel. A lot of times we have a tendency to kind of push that to the wayside. But today I want to talk about, how we can stay motivated to enter into self-care and why it's so important to be aware that it's around self-care. Of course, it can help to us reduce our stress and anxiety. It can help improve our mood, and it can also help to increase our productivity. It can boost your immune system, and it can also help to relieve pain and discomfort, and definitely increase your overall self-love and awareness of what's going on with your body. So it's critical. And even though I know everybody knows that in terms of self-care, we begin to figure out, but how can we get motivated to do it? Well, the first thing is you want to determine what activities you want to do to boost your self-care. What kinds of things do you enjoy doing that could help with your self-care? For instance, some people might like the idea of getting a foot massage. That is a form of self-care. So, do that. Or if you love the idea of going on a walk in nature, that's a form of self-care. Then do that. Always when you're entering into self-care, you want to do things that you really enjoy doing that isn't a big hassle, because the more difficult it is to get it done, the more of a hassle it is, the less motivated you'll be to do it. So choose things and find activities that are exciting to you, especially even though you might have a busy life, that you still look forward to doing that particular self-care activity. And then you want to figure out, if you're still not motivated to do it, figure out what's holding you back. If you've been feeling particularly motivated to do self-care lately, take a look at figuring out what the cause of your lack of motivation might be. That way you can identify a plan to address it. A good way to get to the root of the problem is through journaling. It's amazing how journaling can bring out those things within you that you've been kind of holding back, that you're not even talking about. You find yourself when you start journaling or writing it out, it just comes out. If you don't like to journal, you can also just talk into your voice recorder on your phone. Just get it out of you and onto paper or onto a recording. Listen back to it. And that could be the first step of figuring out what it is. Like, for example, do you feel unmotivated after a long day at work to do anything? Well, maybe sneak a little self-care into your morning routine instead. There are no rules around self-care. The only thing is that you do it. So figure out what it is that's causing you to not want to do it, and then begin to create a schedule that will help you to enter into self-care. You want to make sure that you build self-care into your schedule so that it works for you. If you know that you're working, let's say, a 40-hour week, and in order to do the kind of self-care that you want to do, it takes an hour each time you do it. Well, maybe you don't do it during the week. Maybe you do it on the weekend. Be realistic with the things that you can do, because the harder it is, as I mentioned, for you to do it, to get it scheduled and everything else, more, lack of motivation that you're going to have. If you can incorporate self-care into your daily schedule some way, that's a great way to do it. 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there. That's a great way to make sure you get it in. And again, make sure it's something that you enjoy doing. Another thing you want to do is to set some self-care goals. Setting healthy goals gives you something to work towards. Goal setting also keeps you accountable for your actions, so you'll be more motivated to work towards those goals. I know that I always have my to-do list every day. And in there, of course, are my self-care things. And I just love the idea of being able to mark it off. And no, it seems silly, but there are actual studies that have been shown that marking it off gives us a sense of accomplishment. And the more of a sense of accomplishment we have, the more we want to return back to doing it. So maybe come up with a system where you write down or write in the self-care goals, some schedule, and then you put a you win sticker on that, or a star or something on it every time you do something involving your own self-care. It really can work. Another thing you want to do is to make sure that your goals for self-care are SMART goals. And I'm sure many of you have heard about SMART goals. You want to make sure they're specific, that they're measurable, that they're attainable, and that they're relevant and time-bound. By relevant, you want to make sure that they're things you enjoy doing, things that you know will add value to your life. For instance, if you're looking at maybe releasing some weight, and you know that running is one way that you can get in shape and lose pounds, that's great. But if you don't like to run, don't make that a part of your self-care, because the reality is you might show up to do it a few times, but after a while, if you don't like it, you're not going to do it. So just make sure that you're setting SMART goals. Another thing you want to take a look at is to focus on your self-care efforts. Another way to stay motivated. And by focusing, I'm talking about building self-care habits and setting self-care goals that you can focus on one at a time. One of my self-care goals, which takes a little bit of time, but I enjoy doing it, is adult coloring. Now, it's interesting because this adult coloring does not have anything to do with losing weight or getting in shape or making sure that I eat right, but it has everything to do with reducing my stress and reducing my anxiety and helping me to focus on something other than just work. So I have built this into my day. What I do is when I take a break from work in the middle of the day, I pull out my coloring book and my gel pens and I start to color for a while. And I just make sure that I make that a part of my day. And I focus on that particular self care effort at that particular time. Now, there are all kinds of different self care goals that you might have. Even you just want to make sure that you're able to focus on that one goal at that time, and that there aren't any other distractions, because the more distractions that that you have, guess what? The more demotivated you'll be. After a while, it'll become more of a chore and you won't want to do it. Another thing you want to look out for is to communicate your self goals or your self-care goals with others. Share it with your family, share it with your friends. Your friends can be your accountability partners. Your family also, but it's also reminding them that at this particular block of time, I'm going to be doing this. And the hope is that they'll respect that block of time and not become a distraction by calling you or texting you or saying, hey, can you do this for me? Knowing that that block of time is the time that you do that particular thing on your self-care list. And then the last thing I was thinking about that I think is really important is to track your self-care habits. Go ahead and track it, write it down when you do it, and then reward yourself. That's so important. That, as I mentioned before, you put it on the list and you mark it off. You're like, oh, that felt so good. But you can also really reward yourself. And I mean, if your self-care goal is to eat more fruits and veggies, and because you want to release pounds, then the reward would not necessarily be to go out and get some ice cream and cake. I'm not talking about that. But maybe the reward is something else that has to do with another self-care goal. Like, for instance, when I do my walks, and right now I'm involved in strength training right now. I'm doing strength training. I reward myself by buying more gel pens. I have a whole lot of gel pens. I don't know why it gives me so much joy. They're probably the same colors, but I just like buying gel pens. They're just my thing. They're not that expensive. And so that's how I reward myself. When I get to a certain point in my self-care regime where I've met that goal, I reward myself. And believe it or not, it makes me look more forward to achieving the next thing, the next notch on my belt for my self-care. For those of you who are working on getting in shape or maybe releasing some unwanted pounds or inches, there might be a pair of jeans in your closet or a pair of pants in your closet that are a little bit tight, okay? But that's your Geiger counter. So let's say you've begun to lose that weight, you put them on and they fit just right. Well, why not reward yourself with buying yourself another pair of jeans? It might be a little bit smaller than the one before. That gives you something to work towards. So just some ideas to kind of trick your mind into staying motivated. And one other thing, kind of as a bonus to you all, is set yourself up for success. Making sure that you're doing things you enjoy doing, that you're doing it at a time that is easy or fairly easy to schedule, that you're letting your friends and family know that you want to do it, that it's something that makes sense, it's a smart goal, and it's relevant to what you want to do overall. If you do it that way, you will find that you'll have a lot more motivation when it comes to entering into self-care, and also when it comes to just being more aware of what's going on with your body.
Wow.
I have a whole page of notes on that one. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I'm taking notes. It says cross it off your list. You know what I mean? And that is so important. We are so busy that we think crossing things off a list is almost juvenile because we have it all up here in our head. Da, 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 da. But if you have the ability to cross it off, it means you wrote it down. And if you wrote it down, that means you're more subject to remember it and to know where to find it when you want to, you know what I'm saying? Especially if it's something that you repeat over and over again. I think we think, oh, I've got that routine down and I don't need to write it down. But where's the feeling of accomplishment as you go through the activity? It's so simple, but thank you. I think we think, oh, I've got that routine down and I don't need to write it down.
That is so true.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then you were talking about coloring.
And you're welcome. I was going to say one other thing too, with the whole thing around getting motivated for self-care. Give yourself grace. There are going to be some days where you're just not going to be feeling it. Oh, no, I guess we're a little delayed. I was saying that you want to give yourself grace Some days that you may not be feeling it. That doesn't mean that you won't get back to it again. It just means on this particular day, maybe you need a different kind of self-care. So give yourself grace. Don't be inflexible,
Yeah.
because when you become inflexible, you begin to lose your motivation. Just as long as you're
Mhm.
doing something on the list of your self-care list or your self-care regime, just as long as you're doing something, that right there is a good thing. And you want to make sure that you're kind to yourself while you're doing those things.
Fantastic. I like the idea of being gentle with yourself. What do you think about that, Robin?
Well, and really, Linus is so right, because giving yourself grace is self care.
Hmm.
You just accept that it's not a good day for you to do whatever it was that you had planned, and you just need to take it easy and then start over again the next day. So I think that's awesome. To Don't beat yourself up because you didn't do that habit that one day. And I find doing one little change is easier for
Ah.
me, because I get overwhelmed, and
Mm.
I try to bite off just one little thing. So right now I'm doing my strength training. I'm trying to do my strength training. So I'm not thinking about a lot of other things.
For you to do whatever it was that you
Is it possible that we can change our routine too many times, and we can, try to add too many things, especially too many things at one time? I think if we decide today I will be victorious if I make that one phone call or if I go for that walk. And let's just is that showing grace, um, to just do one thing and consider it a success, at least one thing. I have my top three. Yes, we're having a delay here with Linus. So, Linus, I'm just going to ask you to shake your head if you think, or put your thumbs up if you think that that is a good thing, that to accomplish maybe one thing a day. And so, if we do that one thing, cool, then it's a successful day. That is so good. Linus, we're having some technical
Yes,
difficulties and a delay. Thank you, Linus. So
yes, it is.
so what we're gonna
And
do is we're gonna share your links so that people can find you online.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm gonna start by sharing
yes,
this one.
yes, it is. It's showing grace. Let's face it, you know
So we are
very much
putting
so.
so we are putting up Linus's link tree. And also, we want you to know about her website. So I'm going to share my screen and show you her website. And I believe this is it. Wound Wellness 40 online classes are affordable. And I'm going to put that in the link in the chat. But I want you guys to be aware of her link tree most of all. Um, because there you can find everything. So
Mhm.
I'm going to share the screen, get ready to take a screenshot of this because it has all of her links showing here. There's Linus, Holistic Living Wellness expert for women over 40. And so I'm going to
Amazing.
put the links up there. You can take a screenshot, but I've also put the um, link link tree link on the screen, and we will put it in the chat over here so that you'll be sure to have it when you're looking for her. All right, guys. So we know Linus has to go. We want to thank you so much, Linus. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. We want to thank you so much for being such a great guest. And and we're sorry about the technical difficulty, but we heard the majority of what you said. Yes. Okay. So we love you and we'll see you soon. Thank you again. We always love it when you come in. Thank you, Linus.
Bye,
Bye
Linus.
bye.
Thank you so much.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so I'm going
Boy,
to,
that was huge.
that was a lot. She gave a lot of great information. And it was all doable. You know what I'm saying? She says, and one things I like, she said, schedule your self care,
Yeah.
because if it's not on the list, we tend to skip it. Oh, I don't have to do it today. You
Well,
know,
I like the getting a pedicure or getting a foot massage as part of self,
yes.
because I feel guilty when I go get a pedicure. I'm like,
Really?
but it's like I shouldn't feel that way. I should just
No.
enjoy it and
And
anyway.
even, let me tell you a secret. Maybe if you move it from the um I'm just going to do something special for myself to the health category.
Mm-hmm.
Move it over to the health category. I
Mm-hmm.
take care of my feet because they're the foundation of my health.
That's right.
Without them, ingrown toenails and different things can cause me to lose my health. And if I don't have my health, I can't keep my wealth. I can't take care of the people I love. I can't run my business, and I can't take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've moved it from what you think is spoiling yourself or spending extra money on yourself or splurging, whatever. Move it from self-care, from what would you call it?
Pampering.
Pampering, that's the word. From pampering to health.
Yeah. I have to get over the fact that I deserve to be pampered.
That too. That too. Because, you know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
anybody deserves it, we have earned it. We have worked hard for so many people in our lives and taking care of so many people. And
Yeah.
right now, you're even still a caregiver. So yes, you need to make sure that you feel good about yourself, because it determines your energy level.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Cecilia can speak to this because she is a caregiver. She says,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we deserve it. We work hard to uh, massage and pedicure. She said, do both.
Thank you, Cecilia.
And Cecilia knows all too well.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very successful caregiver. And so, we can take some advice from those who have gained wisdom in in these areas.
And we've gained wisdom just by gaining our little wrinkles around our eyes, and it's all really good.
Those are just testimonies to all that we have accomplished.
That's
So I
right.
like to call it the wonderfulness of it all.
That's right. I love that. It's great.
We're going to
This is all
celebrate the
wonderful.
wonderfulness. So my question to you is, Robin, we didn't do the healthy habit at the beginning. Do you have a healthy habit for us today?
I do. I was thinking about this a little bit, and it's springtime. Look at the sun beaming into my windows. It's kind of
I know. Isn't it
sorry
fabulous?
about that. It's kind of. I
It's
can't
great.
go over and close. Anyway, so I love the weather this week. It's just been so lovely to go out and feel the sun and the. Anyway, I spring cleaning
Ah,
is what I was thinking we should talk about. So we
oh
have
my gosh.
I have 10 creative decluttering tips.
Oh, good.
So, decluttering is it's all energy, right? In the sense that when you declutter, you're getting rid of things that you don't no longer serve you.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings in space so that things that do serve you can come into your life. So there's kind of an energetic kind of philosophy toward decluttering that's just overall healthy, because you get rid of the old. Like the Japanese, we clean our house every toward New Year. We get rid of all of the stuff that's been in the house,
Oh,
vacuum, clean windows. It's kind of like a spring cleaning before the end of the year, because we
mm-hmm.
get rid of all of that. And so that when the new year comes in, all of the good stuff can come back in. So there's some philosophy toward decluttering. And I think it's very scientifically proven that it is so helpful. So anyway, I'm going to give you 10 decluttering tips.
Okay.
The first one was to start 5 minutes at a time. So just bite off a little piece.
Okay.
Don't overwhelm yourself like, oh my gosh, where am I going to start? So start with 5 minutes at a time and give away one item every day.
Oh, that is great. Decluttering is our biggest problem, says
Yeah.
Cecilia. I really need to focus on that. Yes, I think we all do, Cecilia.
Well, and it's kind of like what Lena says, we do it in little chunks so we don't overwhelm ourselves. She says also you can fill an entire trash bag. Just fill up a trash bag every day.
Wow.
Donate your clothes you never wear. Now this one's hard for me because I've heard of this one before, where you put the clothes that you wear on the front of your rack, and then those that for this side, you identify them. Simply hang your clothes with hangers on the reverse direction. After wearing them, you face the hanger in the correct direction, and you discard those you've never touched for months. I'm like, oh my gosh, how many clothes do we still hang on to because we just can't get rid of it?
We live in America and we continue to add to, for some reason, as opposed to making room for new things. We just add stuff.
Right.
So now we've got the things that we aren't really using. And then we can't find the things that we need because they're obscured by the things we don't use.
Right. Right. So that's a hard one for me though. But I've done a lot of decluttering, and I've never regretted anything that I've given away because I figure someone else can use it better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be a treasure to them, where for me it's just hanging in my closet.
And there are so many people in need. We have things going on overseas. We've got things going on in New Orleans and different parts of the country where people have suffered complete loss. Oh my goodness, yes. So if we could put those things to a better use, wouldn't that be a blessing to others?
Yep. And then she goes on to say, okay, and the other thing you can do is take this 12-12-12 challenge. You locate 12 items and you throw them away. You locate 12 items to donate, and you do 12 items that you return to their proper home, wherever that proper home is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another way. So you just kind of make a game of it. And the one tip, this is a good one because I don't do this, but when you walk into your home, you view it as though you're a first-time visitor.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Clutter. Oh my gosh.
Enter your home as though you're visiting a home of a friend. Write down your first impression and how to clean and organize your home and make some changes.
Mm-hmm.
Take photos of the small area that you want to declutter. Like your kitchen counter, just a photo.
Oh my gosh.
You just do little pieces at a time.
What's very annoying is to clean your counter and then have people start to put stuff back on it. It's just
well, and right now you've got people living with you, so it's harder to keep things neat and tidy.
And it is just very disturbing.
Plus, they probably brought some of their clutter in.
Yes, because now you had it. Everything had a place, and then you had to jam it together to make room for it.
Yeah. So be kind to yourself.
Okay, I received that. Okay, because it's a temporary situation. So make a permanent decision in a temporary situation.
That's right. It's just temporary, right?
Yes.
And the last tip was to get help from a friend,
which is what I'm doing right now. Thank you, friends. Thank you for helping me to see things differently, and I take it to heart that I can still declutter in the midst of all of this.
Yep, you can. Just little things, and we got new carpet installed the other day, and man, you talk about clutter. That we had to get rid of all this stuff, that my mom has been collecting. I mean, oh my goodness, it was just amazing. And and we did declutter a little bit, but we left a lot of the same because you don't want to upset her apple cart either.
Yes.
Right? So don't want to make lots and lots of changes, but she's part of the process. And she'll say, she brought this little clock out. It's a Sony clock, and it's never worked. It's just blink, blink, blink on her nightstand. And she says, you know what? This doesn't work. Maybe we should donate it. And I said, okay. Great, Mom. That's a great idea. So we did a little bit of that during our declutter, but it's all good. Yeah. So,
It takes time to change our minds about things and to reconcile all our behaviors to something new because they're deep ingrained in our habits,
mm-hmm,
in our familiarity. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Yep.
So, guys, be gentle with yourself.
Yep.
But when it's time to take that bag outside, be firm.
There you go.
Don't go back in the bag. Oh my gosh. And remember, we're living in such a disposable um, day and time. We learned our habits from people who lived before manufacturing was so, um, what would you call it, refined and so accomplished to the point where things have become inexpensive. And so they don't hold the value that they used to. Let it go. Let it go and receive something new. Okay, with that, I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow we'll be talking tech in English, and we invite you to join the show. Robin, who do we have next week? Do
I
you know?
was just looking that up. I knew you were going to ask me.
We always have such fun with Robin's guests. I really enjoyed Linus today. She was talking about self care and how to do it in a great way and some techniques for getting there. Yes. Do you have our guest?
Yes, wait, I do. We're going to have Dr. Shakonda Rogers with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we haven't seen her in a little bit, but it'll be fun to see her. She's a licensed clinical psychologist, and she always brings us such great wisdom about being mindful, and it's practicing mindfulness, which we forget. It's hard to practice every day, and it's a very, very important habit. So we're going to learn more about mindfulness next week.
And also, I know that Dr. Rogers has a retreat coming up. So those of you who are looking to be a part of that retreat, you need to check out her website. And I think it's melanin something.
I'm sorry I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, her retreat is very, very specifically to help African American women. It's the mission. Her job. Her whole mission is melanin meets mindfulness, and she really welcomes the openness of that gathering that she's going to pull together, and I think it's going to be a lovely, wonderful day for people to really take care of themselves
and get in touch with themselves. So you want to tune in next week. She'll be giving us some more details about the upcoming retreat. I know it's in April, so we're excited to help her launch that retreat, and we encourage you strongly to be a part of it. With that, we want to remind you guys, it's okay to be successful in your business and go to the front of your own line. BizChicks is going to be doing a workshop this weekend, 10K in 10 days. So if you're interested in that, just direct message us over there on Facebook or in the circle, and we'll be glad to give you the details. With that, we say have a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you again, Robin. You always have such great guests. We really, really appreciate all that you do. Bye-bye, everyone.